Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Screamin'. Welcome back to another day in Destiny 2 for some more Destiny 2 news and Lightfall Season of the Witch intel. And we have quite the week ahead of us. Not only do we have the progression of the seasonal activity and storyline, which I actually think are really great this season, but we also have the revival of the CROTA'S raid coming back this weekend. So in this video, we're going to cover a few things. Not only are we going to cover all the best farms that you probably want to use this week, some of them will be leaving us within the next 24 hours, so you definitely want to jump on Destiny 2 ASAP, but also some exploits that you could probably use and want to know heading into this weekend's raid, or just in the new seasonal activity or event if you're trying to do those tier 3s. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel and turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 Lightfall content like this. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. Remember, any of those things also enter you into any future giveaways on this YouTube channel, and I do one every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. We're also doing another one when we reach 1,000 followers on Instagram, and when we reach 100,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel, we'll be giving away an Xbox Series X. Of course, also, if you stick around till the end of the video, I'll have a secret hashtag you can leave in the comments section to be entered into the next giveaway a second time for this video. Very quickly, Banshee's loot. I'm still not totally sure what the rotation for these weapons are. It used to be that we would get featured weapons every day and then a reroll on the featured weapons 7 hours after the daily reset, and then on Tuesday, we would get a weapon reset for the weekly weapons, and then the very next day at reset, we would get a reroll on them. Doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Not totally sure exactly what the time rotation for any of these weapons is currently, but I do know that they still rotate rolls. But I'll have to get back to you a little bit more on that, but these are just the ones currently. Very quickly, we're going to cover the most need-to-know news in order. Something that you definitely want to do in the next 24 hours is head over to Bunker E15 and farm out the exotic arms. If you're looking for any of the new exotics for Warlock, Hunter, or Titan, the Warlock ones are very meta at the moment. I'm currently on my Hunter, which you rarely see me on. I'm still trying to upgrade them a little bit in order to use them in the upcoming raid, possibly, but we have the Moth Keepers, which of course have the unique function with the new grenade launcher. Don't know if that synergy is 100% on the level. Seems to be a bit broken, but in any case, if you're looking to get these, or like I said, the Warlock meta is very much centered around the new gauntlets for the Void subclass, and I might get into that a little bit more in a later video, but very much the things to be using if you're on a Warlock at the moment. In other weekly news, a couple of things that you probably want to do, possibly even before the upcoming raid, just to prepare. We, of course, have the return of the Vox Obscura exotic mission. If you're looking to get the Dead Messenger grenade launcher, good to see that return. Over on Savathun's Throne World, we have this week's dungeon, which is the Spire of the Watcher. Not a bad place to farm out Artifice armor if you're looking for a little extra as far as mods heading into the raid this week. Over on the moon, a big one, and the first time we've actually had another raid in 2 weeks. We have the Garden of Salvation. Now, this is a big one if you're looking to get the Divinity, which is kind of a must-have, I think, for almost all Guardians, because if you've never done any raid before, so if you're maybe going into CROTA'S End for the very first time, maybe you didn't play it at all in D1, being able to have a Divinity and let other people worry about the mechanics, just being there to help buff their damage, will get you into a lot more groups than if you don't have it. So if you're a solo player, I know that getting the divinity is really the toughest thing, but once you have it, you'll never be a solo player again. So maybe, just maybe, try to get into a group this week. Check in my Discord channel. It's also linked in the description box down below. And if you do have a raid group, make sure that if there's anybody in it who doesn't have divinity, go help them get it this week before the CROTA'S end raid. Over on the Vanguard playlist, we have this week's Nightfall. Still not totally sure what the weapon rotation for the Nightfall is, but we have the Heist Battlegrounds Moon. Kind of a long one, but sort of an easy one. Lots of ads. Can't really remember if I enjoyed it or not. But in any case, the Battlegrounds, usually easier mechanics, a lot more ads. If you're someone who really enjoys just slugging it out, doesn't have to think about what they're doing so much as how much they're destroying all the cabal, I think, in this case, then this is your week. Have fun. Over in the Crucible, we have Mayhem. So this can play into a lot of things as far as if you're just trying to get a lot of XP quick, because Mayhem matches tend to go very, very fast. Also, if you're trying to level up weapons, I think this is a very good opportunity to do it, because you're really not going to be using your weapons that much, so you can really have any ones equipped in any case. Mayhem this week. Now that's going to be it for all the weekly information. This is going to be information that I think pertains more specifically to the raids and builds for the raid coming up. Now we're going to cover the Hunter first because, well, the Hunter has something very unique currently. And though I don't think people really thought that the Hunter meta was the strongest, though it certainly wasn't weak, but against what the Titan could do with the new aspect and certainly what the Warlock could do with the new aspect, it seemed almost like though the new Hunter builds for Strand were cool, maybe a little bit niche. However, there is something currently going on that will make these very much an endgame build, very good for the raid, especially if you're trying to help out your teammates. The Whirling Maelstrom, of course, is the new fragment. Destroying a Tangle will weave a violent withering mass of strand fibers. The strand mass seeks out and damages targets, emitting unraveling projectiles when it defeats them. Now, the thing about this is it actually also counts as a tangle itself. So it produced the Whirling Maelstrom from a tangle, but then it actually also is a tangle. Now, that's really the only thing you need. As you can see, I do not have all my fragments yet, because I really hadn't played my Hunter that much, but I am going to have these fragments before this weekend's raid, because I need them, and I need to use the Hunter. Because like I said, the Whirling Maelstrom is a tangle, and it also produces tangles, or it's produced from a tangle, and it is a tangle. Now, why is that important? Well, it's because of the new artifact mod, the Elemental Munitions. Now, combatant final blows with tangles or elemental orbs have a chance to drop special or heavy ammo. So once you have this unlocked, you could probably bolster it a little bit with the Tectonic Tangles. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. Probably am not, but Strand Weapon Final Blows have a chance to generate a tangle. But really all you need is this and the Whirling Maelstrom, and you're all set. You can bolster this any way you want with mods or with the subclass. But like you see, I don't have all my fragments, and this still was working incredibly well. And what it does is it produces 2 heavy bricks on every 3rd or 4th kill that the Whirling Maelstrom gets. So you really never run out of heavy bricks. I didn't really understand what was going on yesterday when I was playing some of the seasonal content. And we were doing a tier 3 over on the Altars of Summoning. And I realized I had so much heavy ammo just lying around that I really didn't have to use anything other than my heavy weapon. I didn't understand why, but it was because Whirling Maelstrom was just on its own producing that much heavy ammo, and I also, I think, had a heavy ammo mod equipped, which you could also use, of course, but I don't even have the seasonal artifact mod unlocked yet, and I was still getting so much heavy ammo that I really couldn't use it all myself, or didn't really need to use anything other than my heavy. Now, the great thing is this will also produce heavy ammo for your teammates. So if you're going into the raid, everybody's going to want more heavy ammo. Of course, this is definitely the thing to use if you're on a hunter. Maybe not for all the encounters, but certainly the ones that require a lot of ad clear, which, of course, CROTA'S does. We, of course, have our new Savathûn's Spire and Altars of Summoning to do this week. I've really enjoyed these activities. There should be also another secret opaque card hidden somewhere, apparently. I don't know the exact location yet, but it's a possibility. It's also in the actual, let's call it, throne area where the Lectern of Divination is. And the very last thing that I wanted to cover, and this also pertains to the raid, and I did talk about it in my last video, though there was some conjecture about exactly how this was supposed to be working, which means I probably didn't do a good enough job explaining it. But essentially, last season's artifact has retained its power bonus. What does this mean? Well, if you were to go over to your Collections tab, click on Equipment, click on Seasonal Artifacts, and if you played last season, if you hover over any of your past artifacts, you will see the total power you reached for that season. But it only matters for this specific one from last season. So you can see I really didn't do that much last season. It was a little bit boring, I have to say, but I still got up to a plus 14 power bonus on my artifact. You can repurchase any of these artifacts, but this is going to be the only one you want to, because once you do and you equip it, though you won't see it here on your power on your character, you will have a plus 14 power bonus to whatever you would normally see. So, this is showing 1812. Bottom line, I am 1826 power right now. That's the way that it works. You don't see it, but whatever last season was, add it to this. That's what you're getting. The reason that this works is because it's not just replacing one artifact for the other. It is counting as them being dual equipped. The reason we know this is because even if you don't have this season's artifact equipped, all the mods are still working. So if you have any of the champion mods, they're still working even if you have last season's artifact equipped. You are just getting a plus 14 power bonus. This is like a double glitch. I guess I didn't really explain it. Some of it I didn't even know myself. I didn't really understand how the mods were supposed to work, but apparently they just work. Just passively in the background, even though the artifact isn't equipped, they're still working with this one equipped. Now, I don't know if that's going to get patched for the raid. I don't even know if Bungie knows. I'm going to assume they do. The only way that this was known was through damage testing. But just something to know if you're trying to farm out any of the endgame activity early, like Legendary Lost Sectors, or get your hands on maybe a divinity from this week's featured dungeon or raid. And that's going to be it for all the information in today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, as I said before. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. They'll be linked in the description box down below. And if you've watched till this point in the video, please leave a hashtag CROTA'S End or a hashtag Lightfall or a hashtag Season of a Witch in the comment section down below for another entry into the next giveaway for this video. And once more, I am Wilhelm Scream. And of course, we will see you next time.